Hello and welcome to the Biokinetic K9. We are talking about today, make it look simple, the very complicated thing. That is a quote by Massimo Bottura, and he's a world famous chef. His food is out of this world. He's one of those Michelin star type of chefs, and he can make the simplest food taste out of this world. But I find that quote is it's got such a large impact. And I even like the broken English because it's exactly what it is. Make it look simple. So when we see this, the things that people make look really easy, these are normally done by highly professional people, whether they are in business, whether they are in sport, doesn't matter what they are doing. When they make it look easy, they are really succeeding at what they do. And it's something that just happens with them. So before we go into this, just let me introduce my business. I'm the founder of the Biokinetic K9, and we work with sporting dogs, fitness and conditioning to make them their bodies more spectacular and competent for the sport that they do. Of course, to reduce injuries for our sporting dogs. So what are we talking about here? Make it look simple, the very complicated thing. So actually, there is an Italian word that the English language has adopted. So let me just get the pronunciation correct. It's sprezzatura. There you go. And what this means is it's when something looks natural and it's really polished and there's no issue with what's happening with it. It looks just so. There's a really good chance that a lot of work has gone into concealing the effort. This can be intentional or unintentional, but the effort that goes into that has been concealed, and the outcome is that thing looks really easy. And what I sometimes joke when you're at work and your mind's blowing up and everything's going insane inside your head, but you have got this calm exterior. A friend of mine and myself, we joke with one another and we say, "Oh, are you swanning today?" Because when a swan swims gracefully on the pond and on the water, they look like they're just gliding along glass. But underneath the water, their feet are paddling like mad. So there's a lot of effort that's gone into something that looks really polished and clean. And you see this in top performances anywhere when it comes to sporting people and your top athletes as well. Their performances, they look absolutely effortless. Top performers put in a lot of work to make what they do look like you can do it in your lounge. And we just don't see the behind the scenes. So things that you may think are ridiculously easy, and to do it, you can do it quickly, but they are putting in all of these efforts. And the efforts also, if we had to sit down and speak to one of these top athletes and go through what they do, we'd also think that's ridiculous. But at the same token, we're thinking it's ridiculous, but they are where they are, and we are not there. It's reachable for most of us, but many of us don't put in all of those ridiculous efforts. And that is where we can then say, well, some people have just got talent. But I would say that there's skill involved, because there's a lot of skill versus talent issues. And for me, these two things overlap. You may have a lot of talent, a lot of natural talent, or your dog may have an immense amount of talent. It's got the correct genetics. It shows everything. But if you don't work with that talent through increasing skill, the talent is wasted. The person that hasn't got the necessary natural talent but puts in the effort will always surpass the person with the natural talent that does nothing. So skill and talent overlap, And when you work the two together, you've got something else altogether. You've really got something of greatness. So what am I talking about here? I'm saying that talent is meaningful, but it's still, you still need to apply labor. You still need to do something with that talent. You still need to hone that talent. You still need to polish it. Natural talent does not make a winner. There's skill, there's hard work, there's all the behind the scenes things that you have to do. And you have to figure out, even with that talent, you have to figure out how to get better with that talent. You've got talent, but now how do you get better? And then put that into the skills that you need to hone that talent. That's really important. And if you do it wrong, if you don't know how to do it, if you don't know how to hone that talent and make it better, if you don't know how to apply the skills, and so if you do it wrong, you're still putting all of that effort into whatever you've got, and you're going to be stuck on square one. You're going to be putting 1,000 hours of effort on the wrong things because they didn't show you how to hone that talent and make it polished. And this is really important. So if you've got a dog with good skills or good talent, and they've got this natural ability to be fast, a natural temperament for sport, if you don't hone that talent with the proper skill sets, you're not going to get very far. And if you use the wrong skill sets, it's also going to be detrimental for the sport that you want to use that talent for. And we see this, or I see this happening quite a lot when it comes to online videos. So you'll rarely see me do online video training with any of my dogs, or any of you'll rarely see a client's dog video. And the reason for this is because when you are seeing the video online, you are seeing that awesome, impressive end result of all the effort that's gone in, that polished end result. And of course, what happens with the people that show their dog doing this polished end result, you're not getting to see how they got there. You're not seeing all the layers of hard work to get to that end result. And just because you are seeing this online or on a video and they make it look so effortless and easy, the dangerous thing is you think, oh, I must try this with my dog. And they will try. And they will try and let their dog do this exercise, which looks so easy because it's performed by a dog. The dog knows what it's doing. The dog knows how to handle the equipment. And the handler has shown the dog what needs to be done. And all of that information you don't have. I have seen people where the dog may know the equipment, the dog may know everything, but if the handler just uses their own body mechanics incorrectly, you get a different outcome in the movement of the dog. So many will try something new that we saw online without first building up that foundation skill set that is essential to any powerful movement or results-driven movement or exercise that your dog requires for his sport, or for strengthening his body, or for working the fitness level of a dog that is in sport. We need to have those basic foundation skill sets, otherwise all is lost. And we're back to that 10,000 hours that we wasted and staying in square one of where we want to go. So how do you know what skills are appropriate for doing an exercise that you see online? You must be able to see the exercise and know and understand how it gets used in the sport that you are going to be doing with your dog. So when you're looking at an exercise movement, you have to think, is that appropriate for what I need for my dog, for my dog's body, or for the skill or fitness level of my dog? Is my dog strong enough or fit enough to do that exercise? And just because a dog can do it once doesn't mean he's fit enough for the full set of repetitions that the exercise requires for results. So when you're looking at exercise, you must always think, does your dog have the skill that is appropriate for executing that exercise? And then, is the exercise going to enhance the skill set required for the sport that your dog does? So there's a lot of thinking and processing that you must go through before you try an exercise that you saw online. So many people try these things and they're not getting the results, and then they write off the exercise as, well, this is rubbish. I'm not seeing anything happen with my dog. But they didn't look at the micro detail that is required in the foundation levels building up to that polished performance that we see online. So it's a lot of things that you need to consider, and I'm going to ask you really, really nicely, don't just try exercises out with your dog. There's a lot of things that go into the layering of that exercise that you are not privy to when you see that video. Always ask yourself, if you're seeing any video, ask yourself, is it safe for my dog to do that exercise? So I see some fantastic things. It's bordering on really exceptional tricks that these dogs can do, but I understand the exercise behind it. Is it safe for my dog to do at the level that my dog is at? For one dog, yes. For the other dog, no. So I'm not going to just let my dog try out an exercise. It's really dangerous to do that. Is the exercise that you're seeing, is the movement that the dog is executing, is it functional for your sport? And sometimes we see a dog just standing there on paw pods or whatever the case may be, and the person not understanding the thought process behind the exercise will think it's the biggest load of rubbish. Really, a dog has to stand on 4 balls? Really? But if you knew and understood what that person is exercising, because it does exercise something in particular, and something that you'll never think of. It's an important protocol in any fitness training that your dog is doing, a particular kind of standing position. Really important. But if you don't understand what's going on behind that exercise, you're not going to do it with your dog. And it would be a hole in their fitness program and routine. And where there are holes in a routine, there are always weakened areas. So something that we're looking at, and it's not impressive to see, is a very important component in getting your dog to where it needs to be when it comes to fitness or conditioning of his body. Does your dog have the necessary foundational skill to execute that fantastic exercise you're seeing online? A lot of dogs are athletic. They run around, they're busy, they've got an agile body, many of them do. But when it comes to exercises, sometimes these dogs are really wild and they see equipment and they're jumping around and they can do lots of things. They can jump on and off things and they can turn around items of equipment. But are they doing it in a way that's going to benefit their body? Are they doing it in a way that you can see you are targeting the correct muscle, or is their movement so fast that they are not targeting the muscle you need to target to strengthen an area, and they're just using momentum of their body through the air to avoid using that muscle? All of these things you need to take into account if you want to address areas of strength or conditioning within your dog's body. Does your dog understand the equipment that you are seeing on the video? Sometimes it's just a plank. Sometimes you see these big peanuts, and each of these sets of equipment are there for a specific use. A lot of people will use peanuts for big strength building exercises, and it's not that. You don't do big strength building exercises on a peanut. You use a peanut for other areas, for core stability type of exercises, or stability in the joint types of exercises, proprioceptive type of exercises. You use other types of equipment for pure strength training where you want to make a muscle strong. So does your dog understand the equipment and how to use the equipment safely? Do you know how to use that equipment safely? Because many times the dog will just jump on and the dog is standing there and the peanut or the donut is quivering, and people will laugh because look at that, it looks so funny. But it also shows that the dog hasn't got any stability structures or idea about how to stabilize their body on an unstable surface. And that has to be taught and trained. And if they don't know it, it's a dangerous piece of equipment for the dog, even though it looks funny. But it's dangerous, and you can injure your dog really easily if you don't understand the logic behind the use of a certain piece of equipment. And there's some fantastic equipment out there, but it's not for every dog in every sport. So you need to understand what the equipment is used for. And then, do you know if or when you should layer back on an exercise? Do you know if an exercise that you are doing is too difficult for your dog to perform? Do you know what to look for? Do you know the signs? Are the muscles quivering underneath, or is the actual equipment quivering? Is the dog able to maintain a certain hold on the equipment? Is the dog yawning excessively? Is he licking his lips? Is he unsure? Is he avoiding the exercise? All of these things tell us different things. Is your dog weight shifting off one of his 4 feet? These things you have to watch and look out for, because it tells you a lot about the body of the dog. And if you don't know the answers of these things when you're looking at the exercise video and you're seeing how you should apply it with your dog, don't try it out. Keep what you're doing with your dog. Make sure, number one, that your dog is safe. Understand why you are wanting to do it before you just try things out. You can do more harm than good if you don't understand what is happening behind the exercise that you are seeing online. When the dog performs these fantastic exercises online, do you know if they are using their correct form? Do you know what the correct form of an exercise looks like? Many people don't. If I first have to see a dog sitting to standing, it's no big deal. But if I have to look at this and analyze the form of the dog, you can see lots of differences in the dogs that perform a normal sit to stand. How they do it, what muscles they're using, and how you can incorporate and use various muscles in that exercise by tweaking the exercise ever so slightly. There's many dogs that we're trying to strengthen the core muscles, and the dogs will do the exercise, and just by some small angle variation, they completely disengage the muscle that you're wanting to strengthen. Completely. And if you don't know what to look at and what to look for, you won't know. And so you're going to be doing the exercises, you're not going to have the form, your frustration with your dog and your dog's frustration with you is going to increase, and you're not going to have the results that you want because you don't know what the form should look like. And the form may be ever so slightly incorrect, and by having an incorrect form, you're just not targeting the muscle. So do you know how to then take one step back off that exercise and start from one step a little bit lower so that we can correct the form? Do you know what all the layers are to get to where the dog is performing that online video? If your dog can't do it, you know where, at what layer you should start with your dog. If you start to layer back, or you working from the very bottom and you increase by just small increments every time, you are going to make your gradual changes are going to achieve faster results for you. These gradual changes will help you reach your goal and your targets much faster. So you don't have this wasted 10,000 hours still stuck on step number 1 of where you need to go. As soon as you know what you're looking for, your increases in execution start to happen. And then your results come faster than the person who doesn't understand where or how to start. Your micro challenges that you set up for your dog, they will protect your dog from injuries, and they will help to increase your dog's confidence when they are on the equipment. And there's nothing better than with a dog with increased confidence around equipment, because increased confidence in performance and execution of an exercise brings about speed in the execution of that exercise. And that's what we're always looking for in our sport. you'll find that when you're busy teaching a new position for your sport, like you'll sit on the move, you're down on the move, you're not going to start off with speed. You first want to make sure the dog understands what he has to do. When the dog understands what he has to do, the speed comes. The same thing that happens in your conditioning work. When the dog understands the equipment and what he has to do and how he has to use his body, the speed and the power of the exercise come together. And then you can apply all of that speed and power in the body that the dog knows how to work into your sport, and you are on your way. That's the nice thing about knowing what to look for and building the confidence in your dog so that he has the correct skill set to perform his sport. So when it comes to skill versus talent, if your dog has been bred by some one of these wonderful breeders that know exactly what they're doing, and you've got the entire genetic package within that dog, it's not enough for you to get to where you want to be. You want to be able to also take that talent and rub it and polish it with the proper skill set and keep that body honed for sport. That's what you want to do. And how you do that is by knowing how to get there, how to start. We always start with step number one. And if you're wondering about how to start with step number one, you're most welcome to go and take a look at our strength program. That is where we start if you're looking to strengthen your dog in their body and their conditioning and fitness. We're looking at the strengthening of their dog so that they can execute their sport correctly. You're most welcome to go and have a look at it. Let me just see here where it is. Our strength program is open. So if I'm looking here, let me just put that link in for you guys. If it's not there, then I will paste it afterwards. Oh, I can't get in there now. Nonetheless, I'll put it in the links afterwards. Go and take a look at it. Let me put it in the stream so you know what I am talking about. There it is. You can find it on our webpage at the Biokinetic K9. You can learn about it, read up what's going on, what we all do. And if you have any questions, you're most welcome to contact me about it. So always remember, when it comes to working with your dog, your top professionals, their main goal in any area of work, sport, life, they always, when they know what they're doing, they can make that very complicated thing look simple. So when you're watching your online videos, these guys, those dogs that are doing examples of exercises, they are already really good at what they do. And to get where they are in that video, there's loads of layers. So please be careful not to just go and put your dog onto a piece of equipment to try out this exercise. Understand what is behind the exercise, what is being targeted with those exercises being demonstrated, and what is the form that the dog must hold in order to execute the exercise correctly. And various dogs with various angulations will be performing the exercise, but it will look quite different to what you're seeing on the video. So always apply your mind and look for safety first before trying out any exercises that you see online. All right, if you want to know how to start and how to progress with your exercises safely, you're most welcome to go and look at our strength program. This is what we do. I hope you enjoyed today's talk, and I shall see you guys next week. Awesome. Let me put up my video of my page so you can read it. You're most welcome. Let me just put up my contact details here. You're most welcome to contact me at fit@biokinetic K9 if you want to chat about anything that you see in our program. I'm happy to answer any questions. Awesome, guys. Have a super training weekend. Cheers now.